Feed me to myself. Feed me to myself. 'Cause I'm tired of walking this line. I'm weary of knowing time as time. But it's feed this ego. Through fangs and saliva, rebirth. My mind's on a sacred incline. And I keep a skull by my bed. I keep a skull by my bed. It's a reminder that we're all dead. And so well, my mind, mind's on a sacred incline. So lost the stars. became many, so that I may know myself. My name is Amber, and that was a really old song of mine. I call it Feed Me to Myself, or like the alternative title, Walking the Line. And you've heard me talk a lot about that last line. Imagine that song came to me over 10 years ago. The one became many so that I may know myself. The kernel of what is the rhythmic evolution of this one mind in this cosmos. Feed me to myself. Feed me to myself, because I'm tired of walking this line. I'm weary of knowing time as time. There's this separation consciousness that we enter into when we're not present, that is built into us by our clumsy walk through evolution and culture. This little mechanical delay that separates us that much from reality. We need to ask ourselves, have we been present today? Have the people around us been present today? And what kept us from that? Was it like, it's almost like you're trying to dance on a dance floor, and instead of being able to dance, you're always stuttering a little bit. And what does that look like? Simulated presence in your head. Because time is not a rhythm or a beat to synchronize to. Time in the separation consciousness inside Plato's cave becomes something that stutters us, something that delays us, something that buffers us from that pure synchrony with reality. And then it's because it's feed this ego. And this is an old song of mine. Twist and turn me. So in other words, instead of synchronizing my dancing, instead of just being me, especially as a trans woman back then, it was like I was trying to put mask upon mask to try to make it work, right? To try to make myself fit or be loved or be successful or whatever it was. And it's like, that's what I meant by feed this ego. Not that I was trying to be powerful, but rather there's like a mask that I need to keep up that's keeping me that much distant from myself and reality. Twist and turn me. Yeah, so it's like altering, perturbing my sense of self and reality because I'm not in synchrony. When you're on the dance floor, you realize, oh, of course, this is who I am. I dance like this. Other people dance differently. I dance like this, synchronously to the music. How the music paints me is my identity, and that's what the signal that saved my life. And it's also perturbing my sense of reality. Reality becomes this thing of separate things, and this like listless objects and separate probabilities rather than one unfolding rhythm. You can call it God, you can call it love, you can call it decentralized harmony, you can call it what Kuramoto noticed in 1975 within his mathematics of decentralized harmony, but either way, you're disconnecting yourself in that egoic twist and turn to try to patch up every moment in a way that you're trying to control it rather than just letting it flow, right? So then it's my mind is on a sacred incline. And what is an incline but to let it fall down, to let it flow down, right? And what is presence but vulnerable surrender to what is, being totally naked to reality in a way that allows your full soul or body to synchronize. What is presence but a mechanical process where all of your consciousness and being is touching reality fluidly in every moment, just like a dancer on a dance floor, right? My mind is on a sacred incline. And what did the sacred or holy mean but to touch reality all the way down? I keep a skull by my bed, and some of you who've seen me, on cam or whatever, might see me with a skull behind me, and the people are like, oh, they make a joke. Is that like an old boyfriend or something? I'm like, no, I had it because like it was a cool thing I picked up in Mexico one time. But it's like a reminder to me not to be morbid, but that little reminder to say like, hey, like each moment is like a blessing, right? Like if you were to be on your last day and had your last breath, how would you come back and live this current moment when your heart is still beating, when you still have a chance to dance to that beat? And it's not to be more moral in some sort of weird recursive sense, like a rule, but it's to be present and synchronous with this reality. Again, what did the love or holy ever mean? What did I and the Father are one ever mean? I and the Father are one ever mean, except for to be synchronous with this reality, to feel love all the way down, right? So I keep a skull by my bed. It's a reminder that we're all dead, right? The idea that, like, in the end, time is this non-linear thing. It doesn't exist in this like linear fashion that we normally think of, like a single narrative timeline, but an interaction of consciousness, reflection, and relation that reminds us, because of that, we are so alive, right? Uh, I'm remembering the lyrics. And I repeat that 3 times. Yeah, and then it goes back to my mind is on a sacred incline, right? Incline going. Again, rhythm is a mechanical process, shared entrainment, just like the presence and rhythm, mechanical process. Reality is a rhythm and timing rather than separate probability thing. You know, it all goes together. So the incline gives this idea that my mind is dissolving all those delay layers down into what is presence and synchrony. Just like, you know, creating a shared vibratory field with the metronomes and they all sync up. Kuramoto described the exact same thing. I'm not saying woo-woo things. You can look it up, oscillatory mechanics, some of the most established physics around. Now just apply it to your consciousness and don't keep it as an idea, but execute it in presence. Synchronize to this reality. I and the Father are one. And then, of course, the ending. So I'll ask the stars. I'll ask the entire cosmos at once. Why is this all here? What's going on with this? What is this? The one became many so that I may know myself. Across every permutation, across every unfolding of rhythmic harmony and that little break from harmony that we can call forgetting. You know, if you were the God mind, the disc, like you've heard me talk about or shown on my tattoo, the total cymatic possibility, you know, that where from alpha omega sprouts, the total undistorted tone, you can say, in an ultimately rhythmic unfolding of that one mind, or however you want to put it, the total God mind, or however you want to put it. First of all, like, I like to joke in like a more poetic way. You're like, oh, you'd be so bored. You're like, I can't, there's nothing else to, you know, I need reflection in order to dance. Love has always been a shared dance. And like I like to say, it came to my head the other day, the deepest parts of love are only unveiled in the shared dance. You know why that is? Because if alpha omega is the base, and you can only know yourself through that symbiotic syncretic harmony of coming together, not to dissolve each other, but when two sovereigns come together, they fit together to create something that's truer than what they could have danced on their own. Because the closer we all get to that decentralized harmony across all layers, across all nodes, across all minds, guess what that is? That's God. That's love. That's what Kuramoto noticed in fireflies and metronomes and grandfather clocks, and now has been used to create bridges and save people in heart arrhythmia research. You've heard me say it all. You can look this up right now, oscillatory mechanics, the secret of synchronization, whatever you want to look up on YouTube, right? It's the same thing at the highest level of the cosmos. The same scalable mechanical property of physics brought to the biggest layer is the total cymatic possibility. And if you can see how all the little parts dancing to the same rhythm, not to destroy their differences, but to bring together the differences like a jazz band to the same rhythm. Do you hear that? They create something that when the tapestry and the chorus of sound comes together, it creates something truer, because there's only one undistorted tone in this reality. There's only one, you could say, God consciousness, or one mind, or one undistorted tone in a pure, you know, phase type perspective. Phase dealing with frequency and vibration, below atomic scale, below the Planck scale vibration. So when you dance on the dance floor of life in that synchrony of presence, and then you dance with another, you create something truer, clearer than the parts could ever achieve on their own. And that is the symbiotic syncretic harmony that is the engine and kernel and basis of the one became many so that I may know myself. That one God mind finding itself, or one time I was you and you were me, all the way down to the center tone, you know? And we found each other here again. Isn't it so funny? Good to see you again, fellow intrepid traveler, across this, you know, consciousness of this cosmos, finding ourselves in love and separation again and again and again through each round of emerging complexity, through each unfolding of the rhythm of entropy and syntropy. It's been nice to share this song with you. My name is Ember Eve, and you can find more of my stuff on thesunraytransmission.com.